Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hit record. Yeah. Okay. Hello, my name is Mary Elizabeth Castle. Hey Ashley, how was the sound? It was good. Oh, me too?
I'll wave to you too, but yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Elizabeth Castle, and I'm the Director of Government Relations for Texas Values. And I am here with elected officials from this area, grassroots community members, parents, students, and female athletes supporting Carroll ISD for their effort to stop this disastrous and absurd redefining of sex and reality in the Biden's new rule on Title IX. DC values are not Texas values, and Carroll ISD has made this loud and clear by standing up to the Biden administration's ridiculous rewrite of Title IX. Many courts have already ruled against Biden's Title IX, and it must be stopped. Tonight, we will make it clear that you don't mess with Texas girls. Today in our press conference, we'll have a list of elected officials and renowned people from the community, along with grassroots individuals, a female athlete from Texas who helped with the Save Women's Sports bills, and many others. First to speak is Representative Nate Schlatzline.
Well, I'm so honored to be here and to stand with really just absolute pillars in our community, watching as Carroll ISD has taken a bold stance and really what should not be political at all, but is pure common sense. You know, as a proud co-author of SB 15, which was our Save Women's Sports Act, which was very clear that Texas Values supported, that we had really support from all over our local communities and across our state, passed massively in the Senate and in the Texas House, but just said that biological men should and cannot violate safe spaces of our daughters in collegiate sports or take away their opportunities. Now, I'm here to say that if the state agrees that we cannot take away those opportunities from our collegiate ladies, as well as violate their safe spaces, surely we can agree that this is an attack from the Biden administration to take away safe spaces for our daughters, our minors, inside of our high schools, inside of our middle schools. This is an all-out attack against common sense and against the protection of our young ladies. So I'm very proud to stand with Carroll ISD. I'm proud of their boldness, and I fully expect that other ISDs from across the state are going to join in on these efforts and say to the Biden administration,
Come boys. And whoever in the Biden administration is behind this, we know it's not actually Joe Biden because he doesn't have the mental capacity to do it, but whoever is behind this is literally trying to turn the United States of America upside down at the expense of our children, of our girls. As a parent of 4 girls currently in Carroll ISD schools, I am appalled at what is happening in the United States. I'm appalled at what is happening from the Biden administration, but I am so thankful that Carroll ISD is stepping up and taking a stand, as hard as it is to believe it's necessary to do. I'm so grateful that they're standing up for all of the girls, not just in Carroll ISD, but across our state. As the county judge of the 3rd largest county in the state of Texas and the largest Republican county in the state of Texas, I am asking for all ISDs in Tarrant County to stand with Carroll ISD, to join this effort, and to make sure that we protect our girls and return sanity to not just this area, but to the United States. I am very grateful that Texas Values has taken a lead on this, both in the legislature and throughout the state. I'm grateful for Carroll ISD, and I am also grateful for Alliance Defending Freedom, an organization that I have long been affiliated with. I'm grateful that they are there to go provide legal representation, expert legal representation, at no cost to the taxpayers. I applaud Carroll ISD, President Cam Bryan, and all the trustees. Keep up the good work. Tarrant County is behind you.
Now we will hear from Lathan Watts, who is a representative from Alliance Defending Freedom. Alliance Defending Freedom is a law firm that is representing Carroll ISD in their lawsuit against the Biden administration on Title IX.
Well, thank you. My name is, as she said, Lathan Watts. I'm Vice President of Public Affairs at Alliance Defending Freedom. With me is Natalie Thompson, my colleague, one of our attorneys. First, I want to start by thanking members of Carroll ISD School Board, our client, for inviting us to this press conference to speak about our case. And I'd like to thank in advance Jonathan Sines for the dry cleaning bill I'll be sending him later this week. ADF is honored to represent Carroll ISD in its case against the Biden administration's attempt to rewrite Title IX. Carroll ISD has refused to stand by and watch as the education system gets upended by gross federal overreach. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The Biden administration's Department of Education has aimed a wrecking ball at Title IX by attempting to radically redefine sex to include gender identity. This change requires schools to ignore the distinction between male and female in all of their policies. It is a case of tragic irony. Title IX is designed to protect opportunities for women, yet the rule change requires schools to do the opposite. That includes letting male students who identify as female in girls' locker rooms, showers, and restrooms, regardless of privacy or safety concerns. The new rule also implicates women's sports and freedom of speech for teachers and students alike. It is clearly an ultimatum to the education system: toe the line on this administration's radical ideology or else. Carroll Independent School District does not stand alone against this overreach. In addition to Carroll ISD's case, ADF has filed 4 other lawsuits on behalf of schools, students, athletes, and organizations challenging the new rule. Men are not women. Men cannot become women. And pretending otherwise creates real problems and victims. We must do right by the children whose safety, privacy, and opportunities stand in the shadow of the creeping totalitarianism of federal overreach. The families of Carroll ISD and our country deserve better than that. It is our goal and our aim to go see to it that they get just that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lathan. Just as a note, Texas Values filed an amicus brief in this lawsuit against the Department of Education on the new Title IX rewrite. Next, we will hear from the community. The CEO and founder of Southlake Families, who has been very active in defending parents and children in the school district. We'll hear from Lee Wamsgans.
Southlake Families formed in the summer of 2020 to protect our students from critical race theory and the sexualization of our children. Since we flipped our school board, they have consistently stood strong and made decisions in the best interest of all students, keeping education the main focus for our kids, as well as protecting parental rights. The Southlake Carroll School District is one of the most sought-after school districts in the state. The war in Southlake had a ripple effect throughout the country, and the Mama Bear Army woke up like never before. In 2021, the Biden administration's Attorney General tried to muzzle the mamas by essentially calling them domestic terrorists. An AG memo encouraged the FBI to go after parents for using their First Amendment rights simply for having their voice heard in school board meetings. What was so egregious that parents wanted? They wanted a good education for their kids. They wanted safe spaces for female students, and in the athletic locker rooms and on the field. They wanted to keep the LGBTQ lobby and critical race theory out of public schools. This bully tactic backfired on them in 2021, and now the Biden administration is again targeting children, women, and parents. This time, he is weaponizing his Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. April the 19th of this year, the DOE's expansion of Title IX redefined sex to gender identity. The left's war on women is bad enough. Now they have a war on little girls, targeting them from pre-K to university level. This violates student and teachers' First Amendment rights with regard to free speech, forcing pronoun usage. It endangers young girls in bathrooms and locker rooms. It goes against Texas's law prohibiting boys from participating in girls' sports. And it is a smack in the face to every hard-working female athlete that has spent a lifetime working on their sport. We commend our South Lake Carroll Independent School District trustees for bringing a federal suit against the Biden administration. We believe the expansion of Title IX is unconstitutional and a radical rewriting of federal law. We thank Alliance Defending Freedom for filing a federal lawsuit on behalf of CISD at no cost to the South Lake taxpayers. We thank our Texas governor and our Texas Attorney General for sticking up for us and standing against this overreach of the Biden administration. And we also thank our good friends at Texas Values for being there in the fight with us since 2020 and also filing this amicus brief in this current case. In closing, I'd like to remind you, Title IX protections were put in place to create equal opportunities for female students and female athletes. This unconstitutional abuse of power is the Biden administration's war on women and little girls. I encourage every Texan and every American to fight against this overreach and the indoctrination, sexualizing children that the Biden administration is trying to push down to the local level. Once again, South Lake leads. Once again, the media will misrepresent this story. And once again, the families of South Lake will stand strong and we won't back down. Thank you.
Now we will hear from someone who will be affected firsthand if this law were to go into effect. We'll hear from Cassidy Comer, who is a female athlete who was competitive in college sports in the state of Texas. She testified and advocated for both the Save Girls Sports Law in 2021 and the Save Women's Sports Law in 2023. Please welcome Cassidy Comer.
Hello, my name is Cassidy Comer Barreras, and I am a retired collegiate women's basketball player. I have been advocating for the protection of women's sports since 2021, and I have had the honor of working alongside many of these people that you see before you today, which I think in total is more than the average Biden rally that we're seeing, the attendance. I've had the honor of working in order to pass the Save Girls Sports and the Save Women's Sports bills and to see them become law here in Texas. The worst thing that you can do when you hold a position of power is stand down when you see a group of people that is under attack. Right now, at every single level, from pre-K all the way into college and professional women's sports, women's spaces are under attack. I'm here to stand here with Carroll ISD and offer my support and thank them for their lawsuit against the Biden administration, as their action is working to protect the Title IX that we saw created over 50 years ago and see it at work as it was intended. What we are seeing now with the Biden administration is nothing short of an affront to all women. By denying basic biology in favor of gender ideology, they are hurting women. The administration is putting at risk women's sports, women's spaces, women's educations, and women's professional futures at risk. Are we really going to stand by and watch this? I don't think so. The people that are here with me today are willing to stand strong for women. Carroll ISD is willing to stand strong for women and for these young girls whose spaces are at risk today. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Carroll ISD, for standing strong.
Our last speaker of the press conference is a representative of Concerned Women for America of Texas. Concerned Women for America is an organization that stands for family values for women, and here to speak for them is Mary Smith.
Concerned Women for America of Texas stand here proudly to stand with Carroll ISD, and in this honor to be able to speak to such a good group. So thank you for being here. We are here to talk about Title IX, a bill that was passed in 1972, a long time ago, and now it wants to be torn apart. This bill was originally written to ensure equality of educational opportunities for women and girls who were impacted in school practice, denying them benefits in academics and athletics. The rewriting of this bill is weaponizing this bill here in our own country. It is erasing decades of progress for women's rights. Students will no longer be protected from discrimination. This is creating a hostile environment which will require our students to tattle on each other, to force students to give up rights and opportunities and benefits. This rule changes will apply to locker rooms, restrooms, health education, PE classes, ultramurals, and many other non-eligibility criteria for participation in sports. Concerned Women for America of Texas say, fight for truth and never give up Carroll ISD. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. That concludes our press conference. We will not be taking questions at this time, but you are free to approach any of the speakers to ask them questions separately. This is very important today, what Carroll ISD is doing, and we're here to support them. This is definitely a war on women, and it must be stopped. Thank you so much for your time today.